Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. Last time we saw... Did the volume spike up? Haha.
I think it did.
I'm glad that happened now and not during the stream so it didn't blow our fucking ears out. But let's see. Last time we got like 3 paintings of the cases that Apollo worked on.
Yep,
Have you noticed something, actually? Have you noticed that every single Apollo case there was more than one crime? Like with the first one, it was Phoenix fraud. What's the term? Faked some evidence. There's a term for it. What is it?
Forged.
Forged. Thank you. Phoenix forged some evidence, but you know he wasn't put on trial for that. In the second case, there was Mr. Stickler did a freaking panty raid. And, well, he did get arrested, but, and then the third case, there was smuggling and then also murder. So those paintings seem to only emphasize the murders. I thought that's probably just a coincidence, but I thought that was worth noting.
The question is this guy who was killed, was he connected with all this?
I don't even remember who was killed. Let me, okay, well.
It was a artist dude. I forgot his little pun name.
That was not him. Right, that dude was just a weirdo.
Oh yeah, Spampton. Spampton, but it was a actual person.
Gotta get the scoop. Okay, so it was this guy, right? Drew Masham, and the murderer. Well, the person who was arrested for murder was his 19-year-old daughter, who didn't say a freaking word to us.
Don't forget as well, Phoenix has something up his sleeve. He's planning something.
Is he now? I remember him like saying this was supposed to be like a jury type trial.
Yeah, and he refuses to give Apollo any information whatsoever. We don't even know if this is like a real case or if it's like a practice case or what.
Maybe it's just Phoenix holding a grudge. It's like, if I'm gonna lose my trial, somebody else is gonna lose theirs. Let's find out. Good morning.
So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W, but not right. Right?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
We're on your side. You can tell us anything, please.
I don't get it. Oh.
Good morning.
She speaks.
Not bad, not bad. But I think you'd do better with a little smile, you know?
Is that you when you're directing people for voice acting?
Tell them to do it with a smile.
You're like, not bad, but do it with a smile.
Well, I do say not bad a lot.
You're so pretty.
I feel as if that's a really good compliment. Like you could get better, but you're doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking for like this.
Yeah.
You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know?
I mean, she is pretty cute.
Hey, Trucy, I hope we're, you know, I think a better choice of words here is a good idea. Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. Oh. Wow. So this is how she's going to communicate. Okay, so she's an artist just like her father.
I see the art just radiating from that picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a
bear
on her overalls.
Oh, that's super cute. It's like these are my lewds. $20, please.
Apollo, get your hands off my
Guys, no, Trucy, no! Mr. Wright will kill me if I let you see this!
And Wright's just right behind him and he's paying her $20. This is my last 20. Thank you for taking my case.
Okay. Well, that's a start, I guess. Huh?
Oh, she's doing her nails.
There she goes with the nail polish again.
That's great, really! It's so cultured!
There's nothing cultured about nail polish.
She's just painting on her nails so much. Want to try? Now draw her being
really?
happy. Big Bastard said, now draw her being happy. Now draw her buying Wonder Bread.
Ugh, girls.
Paul's like, this is why I'm gay.
The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger. And a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. And maybe one that led to his death. Okay, well, who could have possibly wanted this guy dead, is my question.
The only person we can go with is the reporter, because he was there at the scene. That's our only lead to protect our client.
You're telling me you think it was Discount Spamton here?
It was Spamton, the #1 salesman, 1997.
Hyperlink blocked.
Clickbait,
All right.
Clickbait blocked.
All right. There's Gavin.
Well, we will now,
You okay?
begin the trial of Vera Misham.
Oh, he's probably nervous about the jury.
Oh,
Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy, and he's looking around like all nervous-like.
The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever.
Judge, you have been a part of so many legal system disrupting cases in your time. This is nothing.
he should be used to it by now.
It is the test of the jurist system, and the first step towards a new order in the courts.
Daddy's secret mission!
Jurists will function like a jury.
Really?
With no shit. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts be to better reflect the people's will.
Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? Because that would mean more sprite animating, Apollo.
We don't. We're not at that part of the game yet. That's in another game. 3 closed circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists, judge well and judge cool.
Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that.
My apologies, Her Judge.
Jurist, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind.
The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but their feelings. Yeah, see, this is one thing about juries. They are a total crapshoot. You could get just like a room full of jurists that just don't like you, and they'll sentence you just because.
Jury selection process, though, is intense. They ask you so many different questions, though.
Yeah. Thing is, like, I've seen trials where corrupted juries are put on the stand and they get wrongfully sentenced. So yeah, personally, like, if I have a choice, I'd most likely just go with a judge and not a jury. I mean, I guess it depends upon what I'm being accused of. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have.
Very well. Prosecutor Gavin, the details of the case, if you would.
Painter Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? by none other than the defendants, Vera Misham.
There wasn't any poison in the coffee.
Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself.
The mug. Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see.
The autopsy report described the manner of our victim's death.
The court accepts this as evidence.
Let's take a look at this real fast.
Cameraman
Judge is about to
zooms
do
in.
it.
According to this report, the victim's death was caused by...
Why do you have to keep using big words, game?
Quine?
Anthraquinine.
I think that's it. That sounds right.
The victim's death was caused by anthraquinine poisoning.
Chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams.
Yikes. I didn't think there was a poison that lethal. It's probably not.
When poison expires, does it get less lethal or more lethal?
Less lethal. I mean, like, it varies on the poison, because, like, I remember reading, do you remember the assassination that happened that, like, drove the world into World War I? I can't remember the country or who did it, but...
You're not talking about the Archduke, are you?
I think it was the Archduke, actually. I remember, some of the assassins had, cyanide with them, some kind of poison, but the poison was old, and when they took it, it didn't work right, so they were able to successfully capture some of the assassins.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I thought it was the Archduke. That's the start of World War II, I believe.
This was in the
Oh, no, it
1920s,
was
though, now that I think about
Yeah,
it. We've had
World War I.
100 years of development, so maybe poison doesn't expire anymore? I don't know. Might have to look that one up later, yourselves later, guys. For now, we got a game to play.
We got homework for y'all. A touch of atroquinine is in the body. Is the touch of the Reaper's scythe.
Very well. Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness.
I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety.
That journalist, no doubt.
The witness will state his name and occupation. Oh, right! Well, for starters, my name's Spark Brushel, and my job is a lone Zerber in the world.
In other words, a freelance journalist, right?
Ahem. If you don't mind, I'd like to state something here on the record.
Yes, Mr. Brushel?
I dislike conclusions, specifically the jumping of to aspects of conclusions. Perceptions make Park Sandbox an endless desert waste. End quote.
But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday.
Well, that's true, yes.
Well, it's a journalist's job to not jump to conclusions, so... Sounds like he does his job pretty well.
I mean, just one glimpse of that man, whatever he does 120%. Even
Fair.
the unsavory shit.
Fair.
But you must understand, I stand before you, a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story.
Buddy, this is a court of law. The public has full access to everything that goes on.
Who turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel? End quote.
Let's hear your testimony then, shall we?
A sample case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out.
Hey, I get it. The journalist's story. I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the Artilgic journalist history made. End quote. His daughter brought us some coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, in quotes. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time.
That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him.
Well, what are you saying, Judge?
Ahem. Need I remind you that cameras are rolling today? I felt the need to be a bit dramatic.
Dude! This is a murder trial, Judge!
You didn't do it, did you? You didn't do it, did you? Me do a thing like that? Come on! That's like, news making the news! In quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt! In quote. I know! Wild accusation rock courtroom! End quote. Rock indeed.
Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun.
I'm so happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice. Your cross-examination, please.
All right, let's press for now.
Yeah, nothing
9
really
at night.
popped up.
Isn't that a little late for an interview? That's what I was thinking.
If the great painter Drew Masham says come at 9, believe you me, I go at 9.
Hmm? Okay, that's a little odd.
So it was the victim's request.
Hey, I want to check something real quick, actually. The autopsy report. It should have a time of...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, between 9 and 9:30.
Okay, that's fair.
Interesting. That's worth remembering.
It's the first, and as it turns out, last interview with such a prolific painter.
Right. Can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio? This is... Okay, now that if I really think about it, this is getting really weird. He doesn't have an interview for his whole life, then all of a sudden, he just lets one journalist come into his house, and then he's murdered, like, not even a few minutes later.
I think this might be suicide.
You think?
Yeah, because he wants to have a journalist there. Who else is the perfect person to bring into your house than a journalist that will write a story about your death?
Perhaps, but I don't know. You can hold on to that thought, but I'm not too sure yet.
Prostility will look back on that night as a turning point for journalistic history.
Oh, it's posterity.
Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point for journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind. But a giant step for that Brussels guy. In quotes. If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve to reason that the deed was done by an insider.
By which he means Vera did it.
So, how did this impunch-making interview go?
Would you mind being a little more specific?
Ooh-wee, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in the fourth grade.
That's not what I meant!
I believe I know what her forehead was driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it?
Right, that. That's what I was going to say, really.
Yeah, sure, Apollo. Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits several times as necessary. Right for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't to say a middle schooler.
Who touched the coffee?
I don't know. Don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I was in the back looking at the studio equipment when she served it. And what happened next?
Stars fall. What's this about a star falling?
Stars fall, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money over. Or send money over.
Over. Zowie! You don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passed away. A star falls. Get it? Get it, get it, get it?
But there's no gravity in space, is there?
Well, technically not. It's the objects that are in space that have gravity.
But could something that develops its own gravity fall out of its own gravity?
What?
I don't know.
That didn't make any sense.
It didn't make sense either.
I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
Does this matter?
Boy, this is good stuff, good stuff! How about star breaks? Nah, lax punch.
Well, then the next step would be star explodes, but I don't think that one's going to be very useful.
I know, star dies. Nah, lax imagination.
Yeah.
Of course, you could go with Drew dies. Straight to the point. I like it.
I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. The moment of the death, Brushell's coffee, the stars coffee. What do you think?
What are the options?
The moment of the death, Brushell's coffee, and the stars coffee. The stars coffee?
Oh, like his coffee? We know the coffee itself wasn't poisoned, it was the mug.
I think we should ask about the journalist coffee, because his was not poisoned.
That's true, that's true.
So, you drank the coffee that Vera served you, too? Or that she served you too?
Of course, when someone serves you coffee, you drink it.
I don't like coffee.
That's what my old boss always used to say. Never get what he meant by it, though.
But you're still alive, which is to say, you didn't die.
Of course not. No point falling before you're a star. End quote.
That's not exactly what I was getting at.
What were you getting at then? You know the poison was on the rim, not in the coffee. Oh, yes! There were 2 cups on the tray she brought. And one of the cups had Drew's signature painted on the side.
No chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess.
Well, Mr. Justice, was that testimony important?
I will say it was important. We're talking about the coffee the witness drank. I'd say that is important.
Very well. Please add that to your testimony, Mr. Brushell.
I drank the coffee too, but I'm not dead yet.
Let's ask him about this. You're sure you drank the coffee?
Oh, yes, quite. I gulped it down. Felt the sweet scorch in my throat.
Ow.
He pulled a good dough right there.
But you say the victim took one sip and fell over? And you still kept drinking?
Of course. Drink your coffee when it's hot, never when it's not. That's what my old boss used to always say. Never by it.
Should I get him to talk about something else? Let's see. The moment of death, the stars coffee. Let's try the moment of death. About when Mr. Masham passed away.
Oh boy, what a scene that was! He put his coffee mug down with a crash, right? Huh?
Wait, he did?
It said with a crash. But the coffee mug's still around.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yes, and then?
Then the cold finger of death touched his spine. Life's flame shuddered and fails. So cold that was that touch, he could do not but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, life's flame is a little tired.
Say, I just realized, why does he just have a toothbrush with him?
I mean, his name is Brushel.
I thought it was another play on artists, but okay.
I thought so too, but then I looked at him like his mohawk looks like a toothbrush. He's holding a toothbrush, and in his shirt pocket he has various different hairbrushes.
I wasn't really gonna comment on his hair because it's easily the worst hair I've ever seen in an Ace Attorney game.
He reminds me, you know what? He reminds me of a friend I had in high school.
Oh, another one?
Another one.
First it was Joshua, who was apparently like Gumshoe, and now who's this guy based on?
Petzel. His name was Petzel.
Petzel.
I have a lot of friends that were in Ace Attorney, I just realized. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go.
I forgot he writes on his freaking arm.
Yeah, go on.
I think he's starting his article already.
Could you describe that a little more simply?
Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artist seizure in his final performance. End quote. Endocrine paralysis, the central nervous system.
Entroquinine. I wonder if that's a
Oh
real
no,
thing.
gamer. He purposely cut his hair in a mohawk.
I'll never know why people choose mohawks. I think they're just 0 out of 10.
The body arcs back like a bow. The limbs tremble.
That's quite enough of that. Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah? Well, I want details. Lots of juicy details. For that, you can listen to our last year's hit single. At Your Klein, My Love, by the Gavineers. Available at all major music outlets.
The point here is that the victim died of entroquinine poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony?
I'm not sure the poison that took him was really important, but
We can put it in there if it gave us another chance to ask. So.
well, as an account of the moment of the victim's death, I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well. The court requests the witness add this account to his testimony.
Those spasms, that was definitely death by poison.
You say it was definitely death by poison. How can you be so sure?
Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things. And I've had more than my share of experiences with so-called poisonings. Man eats fishy fish, goes bye-bye. End quote.
Food poisoning doesn't count. Should I get him to talk about something else? Okay, so the only one we haven't done is the Stars coffee. You say Mr. Masham had the coffee too, but did you actually see him drink the coffee?
Of course. He who sees it wins it, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man see dog eat dog and writes about it in world. Yet. I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really.
Did he not just say I saw him drink it 10 seconds ago?
I mean, I think he technically means he didn't see him actually, like, physically sip it.
Huh.
He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lip to mug, drinks, end quote.
That poison is quite virulent. I hear.
My stomach did a so-called somersault. Since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glass at it. Wait, maybe something's there. Some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess, for the record?
Does this guy have a pause button?
Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable?
Yes. The victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over.
Oh, yes. You can go to press with that one.
Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well. The witness will add this to his testimony.
Vital, right? I seriously have no clue where this is going. If he had one sip, If that, the next moment, he was on the floor.
So he either took a sip or he didn't, and then fell over?
Oh yes, undoubtedly. Just like that. Wham bam.
Screw a pause button. Does he have a shutdown switch?
Look at that man. Does he look like he does?
No.
So Mr. Masham drank the coffee and then fell over immediately. I think Brushell's telling the truth, too. Should I get him to talk about something else? No need.
Is there anything else?
No, we've already done all three. There's no real need to change the testimony. The problem with the testimony is already pretty obvious. Really? Where?
I think that one last line. There was one more line.
One more worth...
Oh.
Okay.
No one else was in there or something like that?
Okay. Can you say that for sure?
For sure? Sure, I'm sure. Drew's studio isn't a big place, kiddo. I know it if someone else had come in.
What if they had been hiding what if they had been hiding in there from before?
Even if someone had been hiding in the studio, they hardly could have poisoned that mug without anyone noticing. You think I, Spark Brushell, didn't miss something as obvious as that? No way!
He sure makes it sound exciting. I guess that's his job.
There's only one moment we need to focus on, really.
The moment when Drew Masham died?
Exactly. There has to be something there. Alright, so that's the
Moment he
intent.
died.
Alright, so it's gotta be this one. The next moment he was on the floor. Let's see what we can find. Hang on a sec. Actually, let me go back. Okay, so it has to be right here. One sip. The next moment he was on the floor. Wait. Slow-acting deadly poison.
Oh.
Well, okay then. Here we go. Where's the button? Objection! Objection! You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used. Anthraquinine.
Oh? Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile.
Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information.
An omission?
Anthraquinine is virulent, as he says. But death doesn't come upon ingestion. Not immediately. That's because anthraquinine is slow acting.
That's probably
Slow
why it
acting.
didn't pop up.
According to one of the forensic scientists. It's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. Oh, I see, so it'd be hard to trace. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. That would give time for the poisoner to run.
Yeah.
If we suppose that the moment Mr. Masham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time to enjoy his last cup of joe.
Look how thin that man is.
He's as thin as a toothbrush.
Oh, that's
Order.
scary.
Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard.
Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record?
Slow acting. Slow act. It was violence, right? Violence, right? Virulence, right?
Virulent. What a word.
Even then, it had already begun digging his claws into the journalist.
He's working on his scoop.
Ugh. Huh?
It's Brushel, yeah? Her Brushel. Let's take a trip back down memory lane. Uh-huh. Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion. End quote. I admit, it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say
Afwinashen something. I
would
think
have
that's like,
sinned to my simple case.
I know that's German for goodbye.
And you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the sentence. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop. This is Scoop.
What the fuck? What is he doing?
He's cleaning his glasses with the toothbrush.
Yo, his tongue and gums are abnormally pink.
Everything about this man is just freaky and grotesque. Just wait a second. Just 1 second.
We're waiting. Out with it.
I think I recall the so-called important detail. A
Revival.
revival, recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote.
Attorney utterly confused, end quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently.
Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened?
You bet I am! The antidote for a poisonous contradiction. End quote, you might say.
Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say.
He figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee.
Oh boy.
We stopped showing him the distance.
Order, order, order!
As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. That Mr. Masham died the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony. And my dream of exclusive rights to the story. Fuck. I suppose it was too much to hope for.
What was?
Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case. Not him.
Him?
What?
Phoenix Wright. Who else?
Huh?
I think, Clavier's noticing it. I've done heard, Brushel. Report for us, if you would. What is it that you noticed?
The court is a critical trial of the this court is a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.
I'm starting to think Brushel might not be the one. I think he was
What, the
playing.
murderer?
I don't think he was the murderer. I think he was just called here as like to witness the murder.
Oh, no, there's no way this committed a murder.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Masham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope.
Huh? Wait, hold
Remember
on.
that
We
envelope?
had something about a letter in the court record.
Mhm.
Okay, we have the oh no, that's not the one. Okay, the red envelope. Oh, this was about
dated.
the money.
Wasn't
I
it
deposited the
dated a couple years back?
$100,000 into the account. Were you saying something?
Wasn't it dated like 7 years back?
What? That can't be right.
I thought 7 years popped up in this case.
I don't see a date.
Was there any other letters in there?
No, it was just this red envelope.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's keep hearing his testimony for now.
I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note?
That is probably the contradiction.
Yep.
A suicide note.
Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's fate inscrutable as
Inscrutable as a quadratic equation, I think.
a man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote.
Scrutable. I don't know what it means, but I just know how it sounds.
Suicide? Poor Mr. Masham. But that means Vera's innocent.
Someone commits suicide in the middle of an interview?
Oh.
Apollo's like, damn my integrity. This is like the second time now that he has to prove like a clear this is like a closed case if he could prove, like, if no one could prove otherwise. Like, no one else knew about that letter.
That's true. I mean, like, it's a closed case against him because, if they can't prove anything, then they're just gonna find Vera guilty.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination.
I'm pretty sure we just present the letter. Let's try. Alright. This is not a suicide note. Oh, no. The evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that testimony, Your Honor.
How exactly are the evidence and the statement just now related?
They aren't, are they?
Not at all. Mr. Justice, please think facts over before making accusations.
I don't think that won any points with the judge. Okay, well then, I've got no idea.
Maybe we press all the statements.
I'll try. Was there anyone at the studio other than Mr. Masham?
Well, his daughter Verna, of course.
Was anyone else besides Mr. Masham and Vera present?
Not a single one. Not a cat, not a rat, not even a mouse.
The only person who didn't belong to that studio there was you, wasn't it, Mr. Brushall?
I know what you're doing. I know your game. Attorney uses classic Ramson phenomenal ploy. End quote. If you intend to suggest this reporter is a suspect, I'm sure you also intend to present evidence supporting that assertion, correct? In the meantime, let's move along, shall we?
I mean, heck, in these circumstances, he could be just as much of a suspect. I mean, like, why would this girl has no motive for murdering her own father? So what's to say his alibi is any better than hers? Oh, fuck. So he put the letter away when he saw you?
Early reporter gets the worm, end quote. That's my secret.
I'm not sure I follow.
It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in.
I'm pretty sure that could be classified as trespassing.
Also 15 minutes early.
What? Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really?
Mr. Masham sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. That was the biggest gun I've ever seen. I shit my pants. End quote. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could.
Huh? Yellow? Son of a bitch! So it's not the same letter.
Oh my gosh, you see what Frosty said?
Marshall seems like the type of person that would moan when the toilet water hits his ass. I don't need that visual.
A 10 out of 10 dunk. End quote.
Just read your line.
I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one.
It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice,
I wonder. It does have the ring of something important.
I think you might be onto something with that letter.
The defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor.
very well. Please add it to the testimony then.
Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge.
All right, this has got to be where we present the... Please be right. Aha!
Hey!
So you just had to establish the color. Okay. As it just so happens, there was a single letter in a desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope.
That's be the most. That's the best surprise animation.
It's like it was similar to like Richard Wellington's when he chokes himself with his own handkerchief. Prosecutor Gavin.
Yes.
Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime?
Unfortunately, no. But her forehead. It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope.
Have you never seen yellow and red before? I guess. But not this envelope. You see, It was postmarked already, 7 years ago.
That's where I heard it.
Well, Mr. Brushel,
Okay, so it was.
I can explain that. Drew, right. He wanted to get that letter into the envelope. Pronto. Get it out of sight. Get it out of sight of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away.
And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump?
well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claims?
Was
That
it
night.
sealed?
Say what?
The envelope was sealed.
Yeah, I think they did say that. That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope.
Did you check the envelope if the description of the envelope had anything?
Okay, let's see. Found in the victim's desk contains 2 sheets of writing paper. Doesn't say whether it was sealed or not.
I could have sworn like they were talking about how it was already sealed. They had to use like boiled water to unseal it.
Boiled water?
Yeah, like they boiled water and then vapor caused it to open it without tearing it.
Okay, well, it can't be possible because where did the yellow envelope come from? That's impossible.
Ah, I like your expression. So full of confidence.
It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of forensic scientists.
What?
Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Masham.
Oh?
Wait, so that letter was sent to him?
Yes, it wasn't. He didn't write it.
Oh, okay, that might change something. Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone a suicide note to himself.
As one final fuck you for the postage.
Order! Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court?
Oh, my! How could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets forgets lots. End quote.
I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel.
Well, that's the thing, see? I think this is the first time we ever had, like, this song in a court.
I was just about to say, like, there aren't too many times where this game has different music inside the courtroom.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he puts his letter in that envelope, Mr. Masham sat there searching for his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp. End quote.
A stamp. Whatever for?
Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box.
So that envelope may already be shipped to wherever it was supposed to go.
Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to do with...
How I wish it did. Just think if it were a suicide note. What a story. Star writes suicide note in front of reporter. Falls. End quotes.
Ahem! As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said,
Yes, Your Honor?
it makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope.
I don't know how they expect you to read cursive on a frickin' DS screen.
$100,000 is quite a good deal of money.
Well, this was from 7 years ago, y'all.
Damn, adjust that for inflation. How much would that be?
I don't know. What What is he doing with his fucking nose?
I don't know, man.
Ah! So, am I finished? Here, I mean, am I finished here? I smell a scoop! I was thinking of, going home to start writing.
My pussy radar is going off.
I was about to say. Is the fish market in
I can always find it, but I can't ever catch it. What a shock.
End quote. End quote.
I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that, rather unique face.
You smell the story. Come on! Oh my gosh, journalist gets no bitches! End quote! Attorney has active imagination! Little else! End quote!
Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. You know, I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about.
Hey, Judge!
Judge has an active imagination. End quote.
Please continue with your testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story.
Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here! Usually.
Buddy, you're the one who's being cross-examined.
Let me just clean my glasses. It's a secret technique. Actually, it took a bit of work to get the thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverage story gets his interview. End quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago.
Ooh.
The red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent wasn't without compare. 7 years ago.
So you threatened to go press with this story? That's how you got your interview? Blackmail?
Well, yes! I mean, no!
Oh, this dude just fucked himself hard!
It wasn't exactly black. I mean, I'm not a...
Something wrong, Mr. Brushel?
Look! This is my story, my tidbits. Journalist info is livelihood. End quote.
I see.
Can't survive another week on ramen noodles. End quote. While you have me chatting away in here, what's going on out there? What if Lally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? Be going to press while I'm going to waste.
The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace.
A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago? All right. I think we all know where this is going.
7 years ago.
Hang on, the bracelet is highlighted.
Oh.
Okay, maybe we might want to get some pressing in. The victim, Drew Masham, had an aversion to... Is that... Okay, yeah. The victim, Drew Masham, had an aversion to reporters.
Boy, I guess. Not even my considerable charm did much for him.
I wonder why.
Until I finally got my thumbs up, that is. Maybe you could elaborate on that for a bit? Elaborate on that a bit for us?
Exactly what sort of story was this?
A little one, like I said. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing in between. End quote. I might have suggested I had a lead on a particular story, but I didn't threaten or cohold or nothing. Honest.
So a suggestion was enough to get an interview. Mr. Masham must have really wanted to keep it under wraps. A certain case 7 years ago? Tell us, what case? Oh.
Let me state one thing, Mr. Attorney, and you can quote me on this. I can't talk about that case.
Why not?
It's about journalistic pride and staunchiness and credibility and connections.
Huh?
Journalists reveal sources only over his dead body. End quote. So what will it be? Gonna strangle me? Dead men tell no tales, right, Mr. Tony?
He sounds pretty determined not to talk.
Our chances of breaking his will aren't looking good.
Maybe, like we expect that.
I'm gonna keep pressing for a little bit. On the one hand, we have your story, and on the other, this letter. What makes you think the two are related?
Oh, I was just saying it's possible. Call it reporter's intuition. A reporter's intuition. End quote. Hey, I saw a lot of things. You gonna pick all of them apart? Be my guest.
All of them? No, just the incredibly suspicious ones.
I see. Anything else to add about Mr. Masham?
To add about Mr. Masham. Just how amazing was Mr. Masham's talent?
Huh? Wee boy! I mean, hey, he's a star, man, a star! The flow of his brush is like a great, undulating river across the canvas.
Oh, I think I know what we have to do. I think this bastard knew that Masham was a scammer.
What's a sham?
Yeah!
Artists paints light up studio like sun. End quote.
This guy is full of wacky gestures. But one thing just now is wackier than usual.
He looks kind of nervous to me, Apollo.
Definitely. I'm sensing something different than before here. Maybe it's time to bring out you-know-what.
That testimony left a bad taste in my mouth.
It all makes sense. Nothing jumps out as ridiculous.
I wonder what this story he was talking about is. Must have been good to get an interview with a famous recluse like that.
Something powerful enough to drag Drew Masham out of hiding. I wonder. Maybe it had something to do with Mr. Masham's art?
Take the art thing. Yeah, let's take a look at this one.
Okay. This is gonna be difficult because there's only so much animation to work with. Let's hear that again.
I'm not seeing anything on his top sprite.
Nothing else moves, so... This is the same animation, so... Let's see. I'll try again.
All right.
I'm not seeing anything.
Not either. Could it be the... Yeah, I'm looking at his like mouth, I'm looking at his nose, I'm looking at his throat, I'm looking at his eyes. Nothing's really popping out. Maybe it's another statement. Let's just start looking at all of his statements.
It took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. This is a different animation, so let's see. Let's try that again. Take a look at his neck. Nothing. I don't think it's here either. Well, we'll just start at the beginning then. Nothing. I am not seeing anything on this bastard.
Maybe this one? Maybe we could get a little bit more on the story?
Dude, I am not seeing anything.
Did we check his hand when he was poking himself with the toothbrush?
Pretty sure we did, yeah. Alright, so it has to be this statement. This is the one the game was implying that we use the bracelet on. I see nothing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either.
We're gonna be here all day. Can you look up what it is? I don't think we ever tried the third statement. No, we did. Wait, no, we didn't.
It's the fifth statement.
So the final statement.
It's the final statement.
Okay, so we were right there at least. I can't exit this. Oh. Alright, so we've narrowed it down to this. Now we just gotta find out what the fuck he's doing when he's lying.
I want to try to find it myself. I stopped when I saw fifth statement. I don't know what the quirk is.
All right, let's... There's absolutely nothing going on with his hand, as far as I can see.
Gamer's saying it's really stupid.
Really stupid, huh? Fitting for this character. Let's just take a look at his arm for a moment.
And take a look at his toothbrush, like where he's gripping onto it. Maybe he's like kind of fidgeting it. Like I've been trying to take a look at the
his
top.
hand like 3 times. There's nothing different about his hand ever. Watch.
I'm just looking at the top animation. I was under the impression you could still see the quirk.
No. See, there's not a pixel moving right there.
Is he breathing? Like, is it like a movement of his shirt?
That's too wide of an area. The game wouldn't, breathing, you said, right? I don't see anything different.
I just saw what it is. It's so stupid. I still don't see it on the screen. Take a look at his armpit on the right side. His right, not ours.
Oh, for the love of God, please Ah! The fucking volume just exploded. Wow, that's... Ugh.
That's why I couldn't see anything, because I was looking at the top sprite trying to figure out what was going on.
Sweat much, Mr. Brushel?
Well, yeah. A man can't help his glands, you know.
It's more than that when Mr. Masham's talent was mentioned. You suddenly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent.
That's ridiculous.
Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Masham's true talent lay. It just so happens that I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in the letter.
The forgery.
Was there one called a forgery? Was there one
the
specifically
hidden-
titled?
The hidden painting.
Notable for the large amount. Is this the one? No, I need to zoom. Okay, that's not the one. Pretty sure there was one where it was like obviously a Forgery.
Wasn't it the hidden painting that had like the top part of it missing?
Gee, it'd be nice if they added that detail in the court record. Let's try it. This painting... Oh, I guess it was that one. This painting was found in Mr. Masham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first, that it wasn't painted by Mr. Masham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. Heh.
Gonna freeze up on that picture of that image.
That is all, Your Honor.
Everyone, please, everyone! Can't we keep this private? Please!
It's too late for that.
That's my story! My scoop!
Better publish it as soon as you get home.
Forgery. That's a serious crime.
Drew Masham is known as an artist these days. But there were rumors he dabbled in other kinds of art until a few years back.
Another art, meaning forgery?
Drew Masham was talented, all right. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover.
Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about...
Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence. Oh,
Huh?
shit.
What? Wait, so... Wasn't that what Phoenix was accused of?
Yes. The rumors started circulating 7 years ago.
7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for...
Exactly. Forged evidence, net tidy profit. End quote.
Oh, shit.
What is Phoenix planning here?
Order!
What is Phoenix planning?
Why, it's like our victim was living a double life.
Ha! This is my chance! So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
This is my first time hearing about this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connection when we conducted our investigation.
But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activities here.
There is no proof tying this letter to our case.
Ugh.
Our case was, and remains, simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course. Hey, 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 hey! The only thing I poison is my pen! When I'm writing reviews.
Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting...
acumen?
Acumen, I think.
It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen.
What are you talking about? My journal is rock solid. Journal is so solid, you can stand an elephant on it. End quote.
In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in the studio from the recap, the trial is over.
Apollo, what's he talking about?
The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera. That's what. This next testimony is our last chance.
Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please.
The only person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing else that studio after he died. Nothing.
Nothing left the studio after he died.
Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. A nice testimony. Clear, sufficient, and without room for doubt.
I think that's succinct.
Oh, succinct and without room for doubt. Aw, shucks. You really think so?
No. I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin your final cross-examination.
Right. I still have one trump card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. What trump card? Where in this testament? Shut up, dude. Where in this place is a freaking trump card? Oh! That's our trump card.
What's the trump card?
The fact that this frame has poison on it. Tiny frame.
right.
Frame measures 2 inches by 2 inches. Bears trace amounts of deadly poison. Alright, now where's the best place to do it?
Let's press him for now. We have an idea of what our bullet is.
Alright. But that doesn't prove Vera poisoned it.
How many times have we heard that one, her forehead? The poison reached its victim via the coffee mug. And from where did that coffee come? Not to beat a dead horse again and again. Perhaps you could fill us in? I'm on it. You need a horse beat? I'm your man. He loves beating horses. Ain't quote. You should see. Oh my god, I'm not gonna say that one.
What?
I just had a thought in my head that he could say. I'm not saying it.
Ah, go for it. Why not?
I know how to beat a dead horse. And then, oh my god, I'm just trying to figure out how to say it. You should see the rainbow dash in my cum jar. Have you heard about that from 4chan?
I know about the jar meme. Yes, it's disgusting.
Someone put a My Little Pony Rainbow Dash doll in it.
That's where that meme came from.
And then they threw it out and they proceeded to start another one.
What the fuck?
And journalist really loves his horse. Does it twice. End quote.
Yo, do not fuck with 4chan. They will mess you up in any way possible. Mentally,
Yes.
physically, reputationally. Doesn't matter. Don't fuck with 4chan.
The guy did it himself. That's the fucked up part.
I might be sick. And you witnessed her pouring the coffee.
Of course I didn't witness it. When she came, it was in a tray. The coffee was already poured and steaming. Let us not forget the defendant has admitted to pouring the coffee herself. I heard her statement. I poured, I served, and I killed.
What?
This part was just a little joke.
I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere with this coffee mug. I need to find another weak spot in this case. Are you sure you didn't kiss him? You're sure about that?
Well, to be really, really precise, he wasn't my type. End quote. I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time.
One of those candies might have been poisoned.
Yet, at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found.
It was a long shot anyway.
Tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee?
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof.
Possibility's there, I can feel it. Just maybe not prove it, not yet. And possibility isn't going to cut it, not now. Mr. Masham ingested that poison via a route other than the coffee. I can prove it. Proof is possible. I gotta risk it.
Oh,
Risk it for the biscuit, Apollo.
yes, excellent. Then let's see your proof. Please show us your evidence. What evidence shows that the victim wasn't poisoned via his coffee mug?
Bears traces of deadly poison, anthraquinine.
Let's explain this over and over and over. We don't have possibilities here, her forehead. We need proof.
I know that!
You should also know that every proof has its moments. Perhaps you're a bit early?
I can tell you what we know at this point. The victim put nothing to his mouth but that coffee mug.
Another hole in this case that needs plugging before I can prove anything. First things first. Better uncover a weak spot before I try to strike again.
On with the cross-examination.
Okay.
Okay, so it was a little too soon with that.
Not one thing? You're sure?
Yep, sure as sure can be. Well, with one exception.
One exception? What?
Journalist Spark Brushel does interview. Leave studio. End quote. Everyone's about to murder him.
I am too.
Come on! It was a joke. Get it? Not funny, I know, but still.
Did something leave the studio that night? Why does that sound so familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? The first case, the murder ran for it.
Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea, if anything, might have left the studio that night?
Is there anything that was left?
Okay, no.
Is anything missing, I wonder?
Well, technically that letter he spoke of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you think we should risk it?
I say risk it, maybe.
Or wait, hold on. Didn't we establish that that yellow envelope didn't exist?
No, we established that it could have been put in that mailbox, the letterbox.
I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene.
By which you mean something other than our witness?
Of course.
Don't tell me. Vera Misham?
Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is utterly unintentional.
Then let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice.
Well, this wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows it could have been taken from the crime scene. Let's hope this is right. This is the only link between that studio and the outside world.
A letterbox.
What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter.
Yeah, said that, and yeah, it was true.
Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox.
Oh!
That very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night, the yellow envelope disappeared.
Yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing.
Huh?
He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Masham. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared?
Well, god damn it, the fucking volume.
Why is it doing that?
Because this software never exited beta.
Oh. So it's a beta cuck.
Well, the company that was, selling it was forced to shut down by the Japanese government.
Fun. That's always fun.
Yeah. Government, am I right, guys? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me.
Very well, then. The witness will add this to his testimony.
You got it! I still think this fails to change anything, her forehead.
I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. God, it did it again!
A letter was put in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters.
Okay, nothing could be more serious than an envelope disappearing from that studio. And you were hiding that fact from us.
Yes, well, actually... I don't argue the possibility that letter disappeared from that studio. But her forehead, isn't there a much more serious question before us?
Right, how Mr. Masham was poisoned, I know. But Mr. Brushel's testimony has changed, which means the facts of this case have too. And what he's told us means something entirely different now. I'm starting to think.
Let's keep thinking, Apollo.
Letter. I don't have any idea how...
The picture maybe, like, the only way I could think of is maybe that letter was poisoned as well, since the poison popped up on that that picture frame.
I seriously doubt it.
There's one more thing for us to press.
Yeah, what's that?
Right there.
You say clearly as though it were obvious. But this claim that the defendant poisoned the victim is merely conjecture.
Ah, yes, well, you see... In my business, it's all about making the most ridiculous thing sound right. A bad habit, you know? Oh, a bad habit, I know. Yes, well, actually, I guess this is more of a case of ridiculous journal sounds wrong. End quote.
This court is forced to agree with you. Please refrain from wild conjecture.
Understood and clear.
If only I could believe that.
What do you think, Apollo? Everything he's saying seems so not flawed.
Well, that's kind of what you want from a testimony, really. I need to keep my eye on what matters. How and why was Drew Masham killed? Vera poured the coffee. That's not going to change. But if that coffee didn't kill him, I need to find what did and prove it.
Wait, the only thing he touched was the coffee.
We already tried presenting the photo here.
We didn't present the photo itself. We just we pressed it and then.
Yeah, and then this was added to the testimony, so that means this is
Wait,
where we
what?
present something.
Can you take a look at You know
What?
what? I just thought of something.
What?
What if the envelope? Okay, so when you were sewing up an envelope, what do?
You lick it.
You lick it,
Oh. Okay.
and
how do we-
then it's on the picture frame. He kissed that picture frame.
Or he might have
leaving
licked
the
it to
poison
try and
there.
clean it.
He
Okay.
touched the picture frame. I think that's what we had to prove.
Fuck. That didn't prove it.
Not the previous statement.
But we already tried that.
No, we did not. We pressed it and then it asked. I think we present it here.
I'm telling you, man, we already presented this frame at this statement.
Present it.
Oh, gee, look who was wrong. All right, well, we got two things left before we're given a guilty.
Until everyone dies.
Is it the letter?
Press a third statement again.
You're sure about that?
Well, to be really, really precise, I was busy gobbling candies the whole time.
We've already read this. Might have been poison. Objection. Objection,
Yet at
dumbass.
the same time, the autopsy, fresh mint. Don't tell me you're still trying to. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, no, this is,
Maybe we could present the frame here. It didn't. This didn't tag us. He just said this isn't the right time for it. You do understand what we need, y'all? Proof for her forehead, not possibilities.
Of course. And Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof.
Oh, this is new.
Hey, it is.
What did you say?
I have proof of the disappearing envelope.
I saw him writing the letter. I did.
Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume.
Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it.
A stamp.
Oh. As we all know, stamps come with glue on the back, or dried glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
I forgot that that's how they used to do it back in the day. All stamps nowadays are just stickers.
Yeah.
No one's worth talking to no one worth talking to actually lick stamps in this day and age. Yeah, but a boomer like the artist.
Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead, after all.
Okay, so he licked the stamp. But wait. How does that explain the adrenoquine on the rim of the coffee mug? I feel as if, you know, whenever like you watch something on TV or you watch a video and it's clearly something got edited in because they couldn't pronounce it or something.
Uh-huh.
I feel as if that's us every time we're doing our voices for the character, then adrenoquine, and then we go back to the voices.
I think they call that ADR in the media production world.
Oh, really? I had
so.
no clue.
I could be wrong about that. If he licked the back of a poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue. Yes. What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth? Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around.
What?
Coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Masham. Mr. Masham poisoned the coffee mug himself.
What a dumb.
Oh! Masham tried to murder the journalist!
Maybe. Or someone went and gave him a poison stamp.
Order, order, order! But that doesn't... Does it?
Now, yeah, you're probably right. Recall, if you would. Antraquine is a slow-acting poison, yes? Poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe.
That was the 15-minute. That's when 15 minutes passed. Yeah. Uh-oh.
You have something to add, Mr. Brushel?
Uh-oh. His nose is picking up another scent.
As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing. See, after he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Masham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp. End quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one.
Maybe he'd just run out?
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the time of the scene of the crime. There were no stamps, not a single one.
That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison?
Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poisoned possible.
Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene at the first place.
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp?
I mean, the only evidence we have of poison is the tiny frame.
Let's do it. That's the only...
Alright, well, get a walkthrough ready, because if we get this one wrong, we're gonna have one life left, and we can't risk that.
Well, that certainly is a cute little frame, and by little I mean really little.
It was only on the victim's desk, Your Honor. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself.
I noticed that too during my investigation. So what?
Ah, apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important.
Missing something?
Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Anthraquinine residue.
What? Why wasn't I told about this?
The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at the most.
You aren't saying.
Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame?
A stamp.
A commemorative stamp, perhaps?
Order, order, order! The poison stamp was in this frame?
Possible.
Prosecutor Gavin!
Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit suicide if the mood struck. You know, can I say something? I had a thought, see?
What, Mr. Brushel? And please stop jittering around like that.
We had just cleaned the floors. The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too. End quote.
So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him.
Oh, rich. That's rich. Leave the ridiculous flights of fancy to the Gavin Neal lyrics, please. Wasn't one of those used as a like motive for a murder?
Yeah, it was.
Hey, you got a new follower, dude.
Oh, Mr. Barat just followed. Well, thank you.
Mr. Barat.
Ah, shoot, I forgot to read that. Finally, something we agree on.
The stamp was a murder weapon. Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one.
Oh, I disagree.
Again.
Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Masham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. You know, if this dude was such a shut-in, how did he have a daughter?
Sperm bank? I don't know. Mail ordered bride. You can get anything through Uber nowadays.
I'm pretty sure in Uber's cases it would be trafficking.
Trafficking, Uber Eats. What's the difference?
Fair point.
The mail.
Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew red letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
I might not have evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together.
What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling.
I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Masham was killed.
Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice.
A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Masham the stamp of death. Red envelope.
Could it be the red envelope?
I seriously doubt it. We only have 2 pieces of life left, so I really don't want to...
I'm not saying just go ahead and just like present it willy-nilly. Like, let's just read it and try to figure out more about it. Mr. Barat is from Turkey. That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Isn't it like
Yeah,
4 in the morning over
international.
there? Dang, man.
No, probably not. It's probably it's probably not like early, but like kind of like early breakfast time.
If he's from Turkey and he's an early bird, that would just be...
That'd be just too perfect.
That would be too perfect. Okay, anyway. 2 sheets of writing paper. Ah, fuck. I didn't mean to do that.
Gonna take a look at your screen as well. I mean, they were talking about 2 sheets of writing paper. It said you got your payments.
Maybe we can. 100,000 in the. God, it's so hard to read. This designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the thing. Sign the papers and send in the envelope with the. Oh, it does mention a stamp.
With the stamp in. Oh!
Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago?
Think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor.
Oh! In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison, on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp! End quote.
Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked?
He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox.
15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp, or 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene.
Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system.
Rain, sleet, or snow, we will deliver your murder weapon out of the scene. Such a splendid imagination you have, her forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So, this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago, yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe? Really?
Well,
It's a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility.
Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamped in this envelope? A stamp that then became the murder weapon? How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence?
Well,
it was 7 years ago. We don't even know who sent that letter.
And your answer is silence? I see. Really well, very well. I move to...
It's not nice to pick on the Fräulein, Clavier. Wait, what?
Huh?
What?
What
Oh.
are you doing here?
Emma! Why the fuck? Why did they just show? What the fuck was that guy's name again?
What's it, Clavier? It's,
Christophe, that's his name.
Christophe. Yeah.
well, like my Christophe Gavin impression? Did I sound like him?
Don't quit your day job.
You have a crime scene to be looking after, Fräulein Detective?
Someone had to come dig you out of all the mess you're making of this case.
Mess?
You know, none of this would have happened if you had just trusted in science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy.
Explain yourself, Fräulein Detective.
Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right?
There would be residue
right!
in the envelope.
The poison detection spray!
Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court.
Hey, the judge does something.
Yay! All right. Yes, game. I can see that. You have to click it again.
Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's anthraquinine residue.
I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago?
Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Masham figured it out.
Figured out what?
He realized that the person who sent this letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp.
And put his decisive evidence in a frame.
Hold it. Oh, it's him.
Ah! You're still here?
Can I make a statement here on the record? I, Spark, Razor Toothbrushel, claim this scoop as mine. Drew Rochelle killed in cold blood by cinder of 7-year-old letter. No, maybe something more succulent.
Succinct.
Star falls at, what?
It's succinct, I think.
Oh, more succinct. Star falls after 7-year delay. End quote.
Will somebody get this guy out of here?
Order, order, order! I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to the afterlife, end quote.
Okay, that's
Uh-oh.
a really good one.
I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
I'll be honest, the judge had the best one so far.
He does.
I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo!
I think we just won.
Very well. This court finds the defendant.
What about the jury, Your Honor?
Fuck them. We're winning, so shut them up.
Is this the bright future of our legal system?
Prosecutor Gavin?
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago? Tickets for the Gavineer shows are invalid after 2 weeks.
Yeah, because your concerts suck. All right, find us not guilty.
But it doesn't make sense any other way.
It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in her forehead's claim.
A contradiction?
A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago. Whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Masham have done what he did?
I'm gonna explain that. He must have realized it was poisoned. That just destroyed your case.
Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Masham sent the trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this. This begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder?
Maybe he forgot it was poisoned.
Or maybe Brussel has more to do with this.
Oh.
Like he saw it was Brussel and like, aw shit, I gotta go. He saw Brussel get the scoop. I want the scoop. He's like, I die. Thank you forever. Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Masham simply forgot? He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe he sprung the trap on himself?
Yeah!
While I admit this is all quite shocking. While I admit this is all quite shocking myself, it does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Apollo!
I don't think we're winning anymore.
I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in the envelope?
Poison stamp? Where exactly is the poison stamp again? Have you brought it to the court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
What about the anthraquinine residue, huh?
Oh, I agree. That does seem to be anthraquinine residue. But, or forehead, it's certainly no stamp.
Yeah, but
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Masham never would have used it. That is all.
I believe we've come to a conclusion again.
Apollo? We were wrong the whole time?
I can't believe it! The poison traces matched up. It can't be a coincidence!
I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice,
Yes, Your Honor.
let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Masham received a red envelope. There were traces of poison anthraquinine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it.
Yes, but even if this envelope contained the poison stamp, and Drew Masham, knowing this, put it in the frame, he never would have used that stamp.
I'm afraid you're right, which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case.
I haven't been on the wrong track I haven't been on the I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time. I'm sure of it. The traces of anthraquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Masham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us?
The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be fake.
Fake clue? Fascinating. And if we were to find this fake, your wild fantasy will prove quite reasonable, yeah?
The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail is none other than can't be the frame, can't be the envelope, can't be the frame. Drew Masham.
The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
Congratulations! You've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of the fake himself? The forger? It makes a good story, I'll give you that.
And Mr. Journalist over there is just sniffing wildly right now.
No, I think he's adding to the jar.
Oh, God. Please, no more talk about jars, please. The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Oh!
I know that face! That's the I just had an idea face!
I don't know if I'm right, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake?
Come again.
7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why?
That's what I want to know.
Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Huh?
The man was so good at forging, he forged himself. Here we are again. The victim was a fake.
Our forgers smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's 2 forgers, and one of them was a fake! What in the hell?
Order, order, order!
You're telling us that Drew Masham, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there is some kind of switcheroo.
I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us who the real Drew Masham was.
If Drew Masham wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person who it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Masham was himself a forgery. The real forger was...
Russell.
You think?
I think so. That's the only other person that would work.
I guess? Nope. Ah! Attorney makes wild claims, becomes subject of mass ridicule, end quote! Better come up with something quick before the story goes to print.
Was it his daughter?
She's an artist, it could have been. There can only be one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Masham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Masham. That makes sense, actually.
It's like
Order,
it could only
order,
be-
order!
It could only be those two. They were the only two in that room.
Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb, even for you!
I kinda agree. I mean, Vera? A forger?
She's an artist.
I mean, Trissy, look at her art and tell me she's not a forger.
Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in the trap 7 years ago. This can only mean the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger.
Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense.
One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Masham's and Vera Masham's. So she had been
I'm just
forging...
realizing a trend here
What?
of like this entire game. It's like it seems like every single person has 2 identities.
Huh. You're not wrong.
Is this the overarching story of Apollo Justice?
He has 2 identities.
No, just like, you know how every Ace Attorney game up until this point has had a overarching story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Could it be that every person, there's a like 2 sides to every person? Don't judge a book by its cover.
Possibly. I mean, I'm not sure the same could be said about Darian Crescend, because his personality didn't really change much in his own trial.
It was more. It wasn't so much his personality, but it was like he was like it was a cop that was doing corrupt things. A singer that was like the like who could paint pictures with her voice of things that she saw couldn't see, and the person that was blind could see.
Interesting.
Isn't
and then there's the prosecutor
entire
who has a fucking concert, and then there's the defense attorney who was a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I mean, not in the same regards as the other Ace Attorneys. Like the other Ace Attorney games, they were about like the coming up of Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. That leaves only one possibility by the process of elimination. The forger was Vera Masham. Well,
Fascinating.
Vera Masham. You've been paying attention to the trial so far.
Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger? Drew Masham. Oh, who is the forger? Drew Masham.
oh, she's looking nervous. Was that an expression of emotion I just saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face.
I'm used to being stared at by fraud lions, believe me. Though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes.
Oh!
So the forger Drew Masham was you?
It's a crying face.
I can see that.
Yes, it was me.
What? What?
The court was in an uproar, and it wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. What in the...
Wow. What a twist.
What even? All right, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real fast, and then we gotta figure
I
out
was
what the
about to
hell's
say
going on.
I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, all right, we'll be back in like 2 minutes, everybody.
Okay, this stream is having a recess, guys. I call the swing set though.
You there? Nope, he's not here yet. She's quite the speaker. I know, right?
All right, I am back. I had to top off my glass of tea.
Ah, maybe I should have topped up my glass of... it's fine.
Last
There's
case
nothing-
was you were doing all the voices. Now in this case, I'm doing all the voices. Especially if Christoph shows back up. But isn't he dead?
No, he was just taken away to jail.
I just assume everyone that goes to jail is dead in the series.
I assume probably most of them get a life sentence. I mean, like, there's exceptions, like Dahlia Hawthorne. She murdered like 3 people, so yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, she was kind of like a hellion. Let's just be real
It
here.
makes sense she'd get the chair. Let's see. Okay, so she tried to murder like. Didn't she try to murder like 5 people? She only killed 3 people, but she tried to murder 5, I think.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, the events of the 3rd game never would have happened if Morgan Fay would have been like given the chair.
Oh yeah, no. Morgan Fay was like.
I would go out on a limb and say she was
Dahlia
a better.
Morgan Fay's the one who set her daughter down that path.
She was the mastermind of that entire plot.
Mm-hmm. If there's anybody who really belongs in hell, it's definitely Morgan. Anyway, so yeah, most people are probably getting life sentences. Like Frank saw it, probably a life sentence. Mr. White, I'm guessing, like, he probably only confessed because he probably thought he could get a life sentence. Because, you know, he had so much blood on his hands, but he was only tried for 1 murder. So likely he's living out his days in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo?
Well, the Drew Masham who was killed wasn't Drew Masham the forger, basically.
Huh? Well then, who was he?
Well, he was actually... Is this her theme?
Guess so.
Doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries? Will you cut that out and just talk to us?
She's just gonna like draw a penis one time.
What the fuck? What? No!
I don't know. I don't know. Yes, yes, for father.
So that was her real father.
Oh, we were saying that was a bear. I think she has a line on her overalls.
I still think it's a bear.
I know, it was wrong.
Could you tell us how it happened?
My father was a painter. I've loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent.
The talent for making forgeries?
How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything.
Anything?
Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those.
Forgeries.
I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door.
It sucks. Don't worry about it too much.
Now, because of me, father is...
Do you know about this red envelope?
I remember that envelope. It was some time ago.
So you were already you were already creating your works back then?
I started when I was only 12 years old.
How old are you now? She's like 19, isn't she?
Is she 19?
She's 19, yeah.
Oh my god.
For 7 years! 7 years again! Why?
Ace Attorney is all about hearing the same number over and over and over. You're like, damn it, there's that number again.
So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned. That was...
Mr. Justice, it's time! To the courtroom, please!
Right! Out of time.
Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio.
I painted those as part of my work.
So she knew about...
All the cases.
Did Phoenix tell her? No, that couldn't be it.
Right. See, we checked them out, and what we saw and we saw what was underneath. We saw through the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings.
I see. And Mr. Justice,
Yes?
Father, he knew of you. Of both of you.
Your late father?
He was watching, gathering information,
He was watching Apollo's trials?
all about the Right & Co. law offices.
But lately, we're not doing just law.
Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano.
Well, they're not really gags.
Yet when Father heard you had rescued the legal business, or resumed the legal business, how pleased he was.
Who was Mr. Masham?
How am I supposed to know?
What if he was Daddy's daddy?
What? Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Well, let's see. So Phoenix is what? 33 right now. Mr.
Okay.
Masham is 52. Let's do some math. What 52?
That can
minus
work.
33. Mr. Masham would have had to be 19.
That can work. Right out of high school.
I guess. I mean, if it is the case, damn, Phoenix, you got a smoking hot sister. I mean, what? Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around.
I've got
I know it's
screen
not
capture that. That
supposed
is
to, but the
weird.
way that line is written sounds so weird.
I'm gonna screen cap that.
We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out.
Court is now back in session.
She looks really nervous now.
Yeah, she's about to get grilled on the testimony stand.
Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernail clean off.
Perhaps you could begin with telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Masham forger persona?
She's scared of Gavin.
He is.
There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head.
I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy.
What's hard?
Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries?
Oh.
Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Ah, yes. I painted it, yes. father praised me quite highly for it.
So, she was the one who made the forgeries.
Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her.
Oh,
He is the ultimate recluse.
he did it to protect her.
He probably did. I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I?
Well, forgery is a crime, so yes.
Yeah, you're gonna be put away.
Well, I hope not for that long. She was
Who knows?
clearly pressured into it.
I think you could make a case that she didn't really know the circumstances.
Well, she knew what she was doing was wrong, but still.
Did she though?
Yes, she admitted that she's done something.
She never went outside. She's always been inside.
She still knew that copying those paintings was bad, but it's pretty clear her father pressured her into doing so, so there's a case to be made there.
I think she's just now finding out it's bad.
I doubt that. I would say, like, she's probably, like, she's still committed the crime, but I'd definitely be a bit more lenient with the sentencing.
Regardless, we need a little more information about, for instance, this. You have seen this before, yeah? Yes. It was in the desk drawer.
Isn't the least you could go for forgery 5 years? I don't know.
There isn't, like, with most cases, most crimes, like, yeah, they have like a standard time, but it's not like, oh well, you stole something, so you get 2 years.
I don't know. I think it's I guess it just depends upon the severity of your crime.
And the,
I mean, she did
the situations.
I mean, this is forgery and of like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, this could carry a heavy penalty now that I think about it.
Very well. You may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope.
Witness testimony is just nothing but drawings. Just go. I create things. Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal. All of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. So she received the stamp.
There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony.
Not that the witness realizes it.
Very well. Please begin the cross-examination.
Right. Okay. I need more information about this forger, this Drew Masham. We might be able to get something out of pressing all of it, actually.
I think so. Hey, we got a full health. I figured when it's
Okay.
to be continued, but you never know.
So these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12. And the judge even says, like, damn it, that was 7 years ago.
Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing. She had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Easy there, little attorney.
We have a statute for that. I can't remember what it's called, but ignorance of the law is not an admissible, defense.
You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery.
True. Please tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father.
All right.
You know, I'm just thinking about this. This is gonna be like, assuming this case goes the way I'm thinking, this is gonna be the third woman we've sent to jail for a crime that wasn't the murder, but it was tied to the murder. There was April May, who, you know, what is it? She wiretapped. There was Iris, who desecrated a corpse, and then there is Vera, who committed forgery.
His attorney says, "Screw your gender norms. We send everyone to jail."
By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point?
Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance?
For instance, a letter someone had written. Or a fingerprint left upon a cup.
What? Oh no. Someone used her to fabricate crime evidence.
Yes. Or a signature on a document. A seal upon a letter.
None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. Hi, Linktoon. Damn, you have missed so much.
And the $100,000 promised to in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham.
Why would he need so much money? He only lived in a studio. A new industry? Well, then again, money is the root of all evil.
Okay, this is a big crime. I love that we're not even talking about the murder. We're now just talking about the forgery and how much time this girl's gonna get.
Yeah, forging
Like, oh, no,
of
she's
evidence
fucked.
is like forging of evidence is a serious crime. Like forgery in and of itself, yeah, that's pretty bad. Forging evidence in a crime is like that falls under obstruction of justice, I believe. A serious obstruction.
That could get pretty serious.
That's where we're talking like decades in jail, I think.
The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words.
Uh-oh.
Yes, we got done cross-examining Discount Spamton. That was fun.
So you didn't know the things you were making were being used?
I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand.
Okay, so she had no idea what her things were being used for, and she was a little kid at the time too. So, yeah,
Honestly,
okay. There
I
is the
think
chance. There is the chance that they could go easy on her in terms of a sentencing.
especially if her testimony right here points the way to the full organization.
Mm-hmm.
They might even give her like a lighter sentence because of it.
Yeah, you know, plea deals are a thing for a reason.
Because they'd rather take down the whole organization and just leave one person out of it.
Yeah.
The fraud line had lived in an unusually little world.
There was was there a case in this game where somebody gave up information in exchange for a lighter sentence? No, that was not in this series. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope?
Others signed them and sent them back, I believed.
Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp?
This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought.
Okay, a new piece of the testimony, I think. Nope.
You draws a really good stamp.
Yeah. What do you mean you received it?
Did I do something wrong? I was expecting her to draw like a picture of her all smiling with the stamp. Like this.
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Anthraquinine? There's no way she would have known about poison.
Moment, her forehead. Ugh. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you could tell me, Fraulein Verna, why did you receive this stamp? He is scared of Gavin.
Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was.
So you didn't know about the poison? I guess not.
Trap failed by chance, by mistake. Thanks to the
Commemorative.
Thanks to this commemorative stamp.
Commemorative. Yeah,
That's a weird one.
yeah. It's easier to pronounce than you think, but it's spelled out. It's intimidating.
Quite the close call.
Who would have wanted the forger dead, though?
That's what I'm wondering.
Wait, it was after that job that we moved to the current studio. Oh, so the dad must have known somebody was out for
The
blood.
dad's like, oh shit.
You mean you moved?
And that's why he never let anyone in.
Oh!
Oh, he knew something
someone was out
up.
for their lives!
Yes.
You mean you
So
moved...
he played along. He probably knew it was poison. Or he knew something was up. He sent it. He's like, okay, we're getting out of here.
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Well then, why would he, use that stamp? Why would he lick it if he knew if it was poison? That brings us right back to where we were.
Maybe it wasn't the stamp. Maybe it was just more about like what he got in return made him wonder. Maybe he kind of felt something. I don't know. Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Masham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist, Drew Masham. You did the work, and he supplied the face.
So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in.
I kind of like that trope. I know it's a trope, like the person that's like in constant danger, but they don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not.
It's a useful trope.
Mm-hmm. It's a trope for a reason.
About this commemorative stamp. Could you tell us more about it?
It was very pretty. And more than that,
Yes?
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
This is something new.
Apparently, we got some cross-examinations yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein. All right. Oh my god. What the fuck?
For those listening, Zeke, would you mind?
What's up?
I said, for those listening, Zeke, would you mind reading it? The line?
Oh, the stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it.
Magicians.
I love mysterious things. I always have.
Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat?
Wait, when was this? You're You're confusing mysterious with freaky.
Oh no! Remember, Apollo told her to try to cheer her up, so she pulled out Mr. Hat and she fainted at the detention center.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
See? Isn't magic great?
Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited.
She's like pulling on Apollo's shirt. But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad.
Did she just say what I think she said? Magic trope? Now, where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she committed her first job.
Wait, don't we have that other letter?
What, you mean the Grammieres letter?
Yeah, the Gramier letter.
Envelope from Mr. Right. Do not open until the time is right.
Could this be the time?
Maybe. That makes it a letter from her client, whoever wanted a forgery made.
Apollo!
We're close. We just have to put together these parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take Drew Masham's life.
Rissy, I think you better close your ears. Because we're about to hear stuff you do not want to hear.
I don't know what I'm supposed to fucking present.
Sent the letter, I guess? That's the...
Well, that's the ticket. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
I'm not sure I follow you.
It's clearly, contradicts, I thought...
You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Objection overruled.
Okay, that was not what we were supposed to do.
Favorite magicians. You said you had tickets to the magicians?
Yeah.
Would that be it?
That can't be it. We got that ticket, like, yesterday. Not 7 years ago.
I think it is the tickets. That's the only other thing we have the Gramiers.
What the fuck? Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch?
Apollo! They're not a bunch!
Shut up, Trucy!
I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter?
Good question.
Well,
Wait, what the? Why are the
Because they
Grammieres?
had it.
Why was there poison on one of the Grammieres stamps?
Was it because of the fact that they They sent the letter?
No. That can't be. What?
The man in the yellow hat's looking quite sus.
Yellow sus.
I'm sorry, George. Curious George, your owner's looking quite sus. We're curious about him.
Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat Troop Gramier.
True.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh. Prosecutor Gavin.
Gramier.
What's with Gavin?
Might I ask just one question of the witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting. Was Gavin connected to this case 7 years ago?
What? Oh no.
Please, tell me.
Oh! Is he about to draw the line between Kristoff and Phoenix losing his badge?
Maybe. What exactly did you make? Can I ask why? No! Answer the question, now!
Prosecutor Gavin! You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me.
Yes, it's unbecoming of me. I apologize. But I must know. Please, Miss Massam, tell me. He said miss.
What? What does that mean? Oh!
He didn't say Fraulein.
Oh!
It was a book. A single page in a book. A book? Please be more specific. It was a handwritten book, like a diary.
What? Oh, this is a new animation.
No, I don't know.
I don't think I've seen him shake his fist like that.
He is freaking out.
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he looks like he just saw a ghost.
I love how his guitarist gets framed for murder. Now he had to find a new guitarist. He's like, "Hey, we had fun." Finds out that a book was forged. No, Miss Michonne, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know? Oh, I was like, can you get me in? I'm so confused.
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all of your questions. Stop badgering her.
He told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing?
Sully? Who?
Phoenix writes. Who else?
Daddy?
He never told you about the trial 7 years ago. About how he came to lose his attorney badge. It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back, it bore the mark of a silk hat.
What?
Phoenix lost his badge because he was fed false evidence?
Oh, Phoenix Wright, tossed out of the profession by false evidence. And the
I would be pissed at the I would be pissed at the court system too if that was me.
Mm-hmm. And the forger who made that evidence is the girl standing right in front of me?
Is Phoenix pulling all the strings right now?
Farah, you must tell us! The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Masham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it?
We only met once.
You met the client? Well, who was it?
It was.
Huh?
What's going on with Farah? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again.
Yes, what? Is there something about me? I remember clearly.
She's mistaking, Clavier for Christophe.
I remember who gave me the book. The diary.
Who was it? Vera! Huh? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
The
The devil?
Satan.
Defendant Vera Masham. Condition unconscious.
Okay, she's
Examiner's
alive.
diagnosis, acute anthraquinine What?! She got poisoned?!
This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Masham. Vera Masham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She was currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial.
Phoenix!
In some ways, that was the starting point of it all.
Is this Apollo? Or who's talking right now?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
And that is where we must go.
Whoa.
Oh, it's little baby Trucy!
Aww.
To find the whole truth. Why do we have a break?
Say what?
Why did we have a break?
I have no idea. Yo, you
Should we
don't think we're about to
continue?
do like this flashback trial, are we? Showdown time.
time.
Oh, hey, hold up.
Oh no, it's this again.
Oh, it's the guy.
I lost. It's only
It's only a game of poker. A game I played for a long time. And only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. What? Is that... What the hell?
Well, seems I found a partner I've been looking for all along.
Over a
Over-
game of cards?
Why, yes, over a game of cards.
Which one of them is talking, damn it? Oh, that was how we first met. 7 years ago. 7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial. What do you think, man? Should we try and go for the first part of this?
I say, especially since it's Friday, I don't feel as bad for it being 8:30 right now, because it is Friday.
All right, Fuck it, let's do it, guys. April
At least
19th.
to like the first like natural break, I'd say.
Uh-huh. Yeah. April 19th, 9:27 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Whew. Okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Ah, good morning, Mr.
Enigma?
Is it Engamare or Enjamare? Enjamar.
Enigma.
Okay, I think it's Enjamar.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared.
Come on, Phoenix, you've pretty much have been sprung on every case you've worked on. I understand I ask the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough.
How? Hey, is it just me or does this guy kind of look like the murder victim from the first trial?
I think so. I haven't seen him in a while. I was noticing about how every single member of the Gaviers have
Gramiers?
have a suit color as their pendant or suit symbol.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't Trucy have the hearts?
I think so, yeah.
Man with the yellow hat had a diamond, I believe,
I think
or
so.
a spade.
Yeah, that's the... Yeah, I think that's the spade. I think the clover has 4 little bulges on it. I could be wrong. Anyway, actually, it wasn't. Trust me. Aww.
Oh, little Trucy!
Great, now I gotta do her voice even higher.
Oh, morning, Daddy!
I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They're picking on you.
This is impossible. I can't go that high.
I am fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me after all.
That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks! My first show's today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about?
Oh boy.
Huh? Me? Look what he started. Oh, that was
here.
Lucy talking.
Old boy.
Oh.
Here.
It's seen fates, God dang it. I can't read cursive in freaking...
Same fates took, fates...
It
look?
seems... Oh, wait. Clock? I think it's clock. It seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Magnifi Gramier. Oh, the guy who created the group.
Yep.
The trope, as it were.
No, I just got it over there in the hall. He told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such?
Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. Oh, no. I'll give it a read later. No, now you're about to go to trial.
Uh-oh. Well, how do you feel about the trial today?
We'll get through it. Somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear.
Ah, an easy win then, yes?
They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of prosecutors, they're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year.
And I get paired against them every single year.
I'm just waiting for my luck to run out at this point.
Switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in. But allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry.
First time a defendant's ever given me a prep speech. I'll do what I can.
I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict.
Huh? Impossible.
Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Yup, you bet, Daddy!
My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, do what I can, for their sake.
I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
My client is Shady. Shady!
Was that
He
his
is
name?
the guy from the first trial of this game!
What?
My client is Shady Enigma, known to the world as Zach Gramier, a wildly popular magician, star of Trope Gramier, I don't know. His mentor, Magnifi Gramier, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic until he was shot dead.
Magic
Fuck.
trick didn't work out then, huh?
The gun shall disappear. Bang! On second thought, it is my soul that shall disappear. See ya.
The bullet disappeared into my body. I am dead. Thank you forever.
And Zach Gramier is the suspect.
Retro Dude is saying his last name is pronounced like Enigma with an extra R.
Enigma. Okay.
Enigmar. Okay.
That makes sense.
Shady Enigma.
It's nice to see the old courtroom.
Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigma.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. This is the first time I've actually seen Phoenix's DS sprite. You know, on a DS.
Right? It isn't the HD remastered.
It's different. Gavin.
Is the prosecution ready?
I was just thinking. Is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really.
Buzzkill? Is this some new kind of crime?
One of the worst. This is a child, y'all. Where are the sweaty palms? The pounding hearts? The Gavineer's concert's got 10 times the thrill this gig's got.
Who were you again?
Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, y'all.
Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavins.
Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town.
Clavier Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band, the Gavineers.
The Paulo, Phoenix actually does his homework.
You're out of your league, Rock Boy.
I know what you're thinking. You're out of your you're out of your league, Rock Boy.
Get out of my head!
I know, because I'm psychic.
Phoenix
My
wasn't stumped
debut-
by that, interestingly.
What's that?
Phoenix wasn't stumped by the fact that dude just read his mind.
You know, at this point, I think Phoenix has seen every single thing.
Fair.
He's like, someone can spit fireballs at him. He's just like, okay, another day at the office. True, my debut single, 13 Years Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that was just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah?
Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way.
I'm just getting warmed up, or attorney writes. Hey, he's showing Phoenix some respect, though.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case.
Done, baby! Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Oh, yeah. Gumshoe!
Yay! Gumshoe!
Hit it! My boy!
The boy!
And you are? Hey, you're the one that called me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe.
Maybe now we'll find out why he's not around.
I'm a homicide detective down in the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see.
I was afraid we would not see Gumshoe at all. I was sad. You!
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see?
What? What? You normally lack confidence in your testimony.
You're a detective. This is my stage. Can the antics.
Shut up, lesbian haircut.
He does have a Karen look to him. Huh? All this hey Ewing and such. And I could care less about your history together.
Very well. Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand.
It happened 6 days back in the hospital, the General Hospital.
Wow.
Someone shot a clown. And then also that doll to the left.
Uh-huh, yeah.
The facts are simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in the hospital bed.
I just noticed the gun is behind the text.
Yeah, it's just like a golden, like, flintlock pistol. Like it got executed by a pirate. Arg, matey, you're shot dead! The killer came in, put the pistol in his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts.
Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifique Ramier, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were.
Yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'll be lucky to get a blank stare.
Dude got killed by a Revolutionary Era soldier.
I'm thinking more pirate. I think that's what they used was flintlock pistols.
I mean, I think flintlock pistols were also used in the American Revolution.
I thought bayonets were more used, like those those super long rifles.
They were, but I believe they also used flintlock pistols.
Huh.
Fun fact, I actually think there was actually a type of fully auto weapon they used in the American Civil War. The Revolutionary War.
You know what? I think I might know what you're talking about. It was like wildly inaccurate and probably killed the user way more than anyone else.
Probably, because it would have been one of the first types of fully automatic weapons.
Can you imagine a Navy SEAL person going back in time to the Revolutionary War?
Oh, they'd be impressed.
How many people do you think they would take out?
Actually, not that many, because the Second Amendment was a lot stronger back then, thanks Democrats. They could actually own private warships back in that time.
Okay, then.
Yeah, if the Second Amendment were as strong as it is now, you'd probably be able to own a tank with an active gun. But no, a bunch of liberals had to get their pussy feelings hurt.
I have to say that's the biggest fuck around and find out I think I've ever seen.
Yes! Am I right?
A freaking tank. Like, what you gonna do? Fuck around and find out.
What I wouldn't give to go back 200 years and live in that time.
How would you get a tank?
I don't need a tank. I could get my own private warship. That was, like, the tank of the time.
Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Gramier... I dare say Troop Gramier has made quite a name for themselves.
Anyhow, the retired Magnifi been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mall ignorant tumor or something? Or tutor or something? Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah.
A malignant tumor?
A malignant tumor, perhaps?
In other words, he had liver cancer.
Dang. I didn't expect
This
this
game
game
just
to
goes
ever...
straight into it. It's not even sick. The game's just like, he has cancer. We move on.
Yeah, that's like... Dang.
He had only 3 more months to live, in fact.
Magnifi's chart. He had cancer.
That's all it says. Just in big block red letters, he had cancer.
Dang, I've never
Shit
seen something
sucks,
so
dude.
heavy in a Phoenix Wright game. Diagnosed with malignant tumor. Well, this is an Apollo Justice game. Whatever. In 3
Where's
months.
those freaking cocoons when you need them?
67 male. Malignant tumor in his liver has progressed to final stage with no hope of recovery. Patient has 3 months to live. Patient has chronic diabetes. Requires regular insulin. Jeez!
And they're going deep into this.
Poor guy.
The facts do seem simple enough, but something's not right.
Someone's already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I understood both of those references.
Yeah. References. I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die?
Mercy kill? I don't know. Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes.
Diabetes?
In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin when he was shot with a pistol. The syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer.
Jeez. Poor guy. Now we know who's really had it worse. The worst in the Ace Attorney series. Yeah, sure, Maya lost every bit of family except one cousin, but this poor guy had cancer and diabetes.
Maya is dying of liver cancer. Maya, can you just suck it up for like 2 minutes? I know almost all your family's dead or rotting in prison. And your aunt is like scheming against everything.
Trying to get you framed for murder, or in other cases, just straight up trying to get you killed.
Your like stepsister is murdered, and you pretty much hosted her body.
Stepsister? Oh, you mean her cousin?
Oh, is that cousin? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was cousin.
As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
Small
I'm just
syringe.
gonna make him Edgeworth. You know, we're just gonna pretend he's Edgeworth.
But he's not Edgeworth, he's Clavier.
I know.
I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us to the circumstances of the shooting.
Discount Edgeworth.
Yes, sir.
This is more like freaking lesbian Karen Edgeworth.
This is Beta Edgeworth. He doesn't have the bitches yet. And Edgeworth's just like, I don't care about the bitches.
Right. I care not about the bitches. I care only about the facts of this case.
And the Steel Samurai.
And the Steel Samurai.
Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do it to him.
Huh?
A few days before it happened, the victim was sent a letter offering his own murder, or ordering his own murder. The defendant did what he was asked of him, and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir.
What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. I have the letter in question.
To my beloved student, Zach, to you I entrust the task... What the fuck, game?
Dave's like, no, you don't get to read this.
To my beloved student, Zach, to you I entrust the task of... lovering?
Lowering
My life's work... my life's curtain. Oh, lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot. One shot, square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Magnifique Gramier. You can't refuse. What?
Very
I know you
unusual
haven't.
indeed.
I know you don't watch Star Wars, but this entire game pretty much took a whole book of Boba Fett.
I don't get
There's
it.
a series of Boba Fett. It just basically turned into the Mandalorian season 2.5. It's hilarious.
Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull the trigger, I wonder?
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court?
Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason?
Details, her attorney.
The devil is in the details.
Well, was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was. Every night for half an hour, starting at 11. The victim, Magnifique Gramier, was given an IV.
An IV.
There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed.
At 11, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. Oh, I just see the spades on his little hat.
Ah.
So he's the spade, the strongest suit.
Mm-hmm.
This happened every night without fail.
So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. Well, you're in a hospital full of people, and that's a gunshot, so... yeah. During his IV.
Very well. Shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? Could have at least mentioned it to me. Alright.
All right. It's the old school cross-examination, too. Oh, did it show at the bottom?
What?
You know, like the two faces?
Yeah?
Oh, it did? Okay, never mind.
That's been in this whole game.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was like it wasn't there. I'm only
No,
seeing
they,
the top
they took
screen.
that out in the remake to well, remaster. I don't know, remake, remaster. Probably a remaster.
I think remaster. I think that's
Yeah, they took it out to they just had the words cross-examination because no bottom screen.
Mhm. I had
There's his
no
old
clue.
line. Sounds horrible though. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it.
Oh, I disagree. The victim was, indeed, shot in the forehead after all, just as he was commanded.
It could be a setup. But let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change?
Thanks, pal. Fine. I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. You better make my boy talk.
And this letter was sent by the victim?
There it is! Gotcha! You're all mine this time, pal!
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim's, no mistake.
Ah, I see.
Score one for the boys.
I didn't lose. I was just ascertaining the facts. Why am I so annoyed?
But a letter ordering your own death? Things aren't what they used to be, I guess.
Well, the doctors wouldn't do it, so he's like, yo, I am in so much pain. Get over here and kill me.
It's like, yo, my student, I am in so much pain. Can you fix this? Like, okay, boss, what, do you need, like, melatonin or, like, some pain pills or something? I
Hand
need
me
a
the fucking
bullet.
gun.
I need a fucking gun.
I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace, even now, Your Honor.
So anyway, guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead.
How can you be so sure?
Hey, you gotta learn to stop replying to people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking.
You're one to talk. You failed to grasp the concept of questioning, detective.
First, we got this letter. It says, shoots in the forehead, loud and clear.
I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal.
You failed to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, detective. I feel like in that situation you should have a choice if you're on deathbed to die quicker or if pain is too bad. The thing about that is normally it has to get consent of like family or relatives. And
That's why it's important to like tell your last wishes to your family.
yeah, so, you know, some people may have want to keep you alive, some people may want to just let you go.
There is the craziest thing happened. I've read this story once. This man was found at a hospital unconscious. They could not wake him up at all, and they had him hooked up to keep him alive. He had a tattoo on his chest that said, "Do not resuscitate."
What?
They had no clue if that was considered consent or not.
So did they not do it?
I don't remember. I think they let him die.
Well,
They kept him alive. They kept him on like in a coma for 3 weeks while they tried to determine what this means, because that had never popped up. The guy was never awake to tell his wishes, but it was tattooed on his body.
well, it is what it is now.
We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Traces of gunpowder residue showed that it had been fired recently.
Well, Mr. Wright, as far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim.
Photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use? So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecutor's argument. Didn't pull the trigger, shot something else.
They shot something else. Look at the clown.
Yeah, it's the best we got. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes?
What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Oh? The defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
What? And you can prove that with this photo?
I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot?
Right there.
The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead, too.
Ah, there is a hole in its forehead.
He thought his teacher was a clown. He's like, you better stop clowning around, Teach.
Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim.
And I'm supposed to have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll?
He didn't just shoot the doll. He shot the doll's forehead.
Forehead? Ah!
Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead, which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead.
Kristoff's like, this sucks so much, I'm gonna name someone Forehead.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead, it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
You know, depending on how big the bullet was coming out of this gun, that clown's head probably would have actually just vaporized.
I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim.
Perhaps he didn't have to shoot the forehead as ordered. Or wait. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. It was the only way he had to This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. We cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall.
How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize how big this little hole is going to get.
Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into your account as you continue your testimony.
But what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. Wait, do we have the gun in the evidence?
No.
That's the only thing I can think of is if the gun was fired like once or twice. Maybe we press and we get more information.
Let's try. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim.
Hey, not a bad summary, pal.
More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever.
That was really really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself.
Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me?
Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony?
I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in. I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully.
Okay, so that letter has something to do with it.
To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun which you will shoot. One shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why.
One shot. It says in the note.
Huh.
It can't shoot the clown and Gramier at the same
that
time.
makes sense. Okay. Ah, fuck. Contradicts the evidence. It does. I don't see anything contradictory. Really? Objection overruled. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Now what do I do? No. Seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. I've got no idea.
Press the fourth statement.
I already did that.
We had to press it again. It's one of those.
Why are you so certain?
What pile of sand were you? What pile of sand was your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zack and Valiant Quick Draw Shoot 'em?
Huh? What's that?
One of the defendant's specialities. Zack and Valiant stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage.
That is extraordinarily dangerous, and I would never approve of that for a magic show.
But it's magic. This was one of the pistols they used in their show.
And that's
Gumshoe,
your
you do
blood on the
know-
floor.
Gumshoe, you do know that's like magic isn't real. That's not a magical gun. And a great design, huh? The kids love it. Many boys and girls from the police because of that pistol, I hear.
You know, that would explain a lot about the police force.
Troop Guerriero stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since.
20. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Press the fifth statement.
You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo?
That's the one. It's a funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it. We compared the bullets taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullet were a perfect match.
So you verified the murder weapon, in other words.
You bet we did.
The court would like to see the pistol in question.
You got it, sir. Here she is.
Well, this truly is a blast from the past.
It's a stage pistol for the magic show, see? But it can fire real bullets.
Looks so much bigger in real life than on TV.
Yeah, but it can only hold one round. There it is.
By the way, the pistol's firing chamber.
By the
is
way,
empty.
the pistol's firing chamber is empty. It can only hold one round. And it shows traces of having been fired recently.
So were any fingerprints found on the gun?
Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own.
No. A fingerprint is a fingerprint. A no fingerprint is just no fingerprint.
Aha! Intriguing point. Well made.
God damn it, Judge. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not well made, not intriguing!
In any case, the court accepts this evidence.
Alright, let's take a closer look at you.
My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. But now's the time to return to our testimony.
You know, I said this last stream, but it just gives me the warm fuzzies knowing that the judge probably goes to his wife and talks about his cases. Like, you never believe what happened today, honey.
Fires one real bullet, rifling marks match bullet. Okay.
It could only fire one. There we go.
So we needed the gun. That's what we needed.
Yeah, we needed the gun.
The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and... Oh, shit.
Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not.
The murder weapon? How?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too.
Oh, old school music.
The classic music.
That's not a contradiction, not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shots.
Oh?
Ian's right about to school him.
Where did he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it.
Damn, this is a season right, too. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, the party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet, beyond my good looks and startling record sales.
And utter lack of humility.
What's this? It seems the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, her detective was just the warm-up act. Now that the audience has gotten the taste of what's to come, they're ready.
Ready for what?
For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gremier who shot the victim in the forehead.
Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach.
Court is adjourned.
I think this might be a good place to stop. I think we might can finish up the rest next time.
All right.
Because I feel as if we just keep going, we'll just want to keep going and going and going, you know?
To be honest, part of me really, really wants to see the end of this Phoenix case, but...
I think we found the, like, a good place to end.
I want to see it so bad.
I know, me too.
What do you think? What do you say?
I say we save it. We'll make it a finale
Aww.
next time.
All right, fine.
Sorry, guys, but you know it's cliffhangers.
Yay. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Until then.
See ya.